I'm Juliet Jackson, and this is Music Unite.
Music Unite, welcome. I'm Drew Wayne. As you know, you probably don't know because the show's not new enough. But I'm going to introduce you to the guys from Vertigo Venus, who I'm so lucky to be with on the beautiful streets of a parking lot on Carlisle. Guys, go ahead and introduce yourself so everyone that doesn't know.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm the singer and the bass player.
I'm Chris. I'm the guitar player and background vocalist.
I'm Brian Bachhiller. I'm drums and percussion.
I'm Jess, and I play keys.
Right on, guys. I'm glad you came in. I know you guys were excited for this because I read your Twitter page, and you said, we got big plans tonight. We got to look good for Music Unite. So I'm glad you came out looking good. I feel kind of stupid that I didn't color my hair.
Yeah, that's all right.
Now I look like the jerk.
Well,
that's all right.
In all fairness, he doesn't have hair. Yeah, so you guys are even.
So you cover it.
Yeah.
Okay. I just hit it with the hat.
I need to be hip like that. All right, Vertigo Venus. You guys are an Albuquerque band. You would say that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you guys from Albuquerque? Are you from here? Or?
No.
No. Chris and I moved here from Detroit
Okay.
In 2002. Brian's from Santa Fe, and Jessica is from here.
I'm the only local.
You're the only. Where'd you go to high school?
Highland.
Highland.
HHS.
Feuding. All right.
Why we're
I guess
people.
we'll see below. It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It was a basketball thing, but we'll get past it because this isn't a sports show.
No.
Jessica. All right.
No, but we don't even really like to say that we're an Albuquerque band.
Oh, yeah?
We prefer to actually say that we're a New Mexican band.
Because we played all over.
That's cool.
Because we really are kind of from the whole state at
So,
this point.
what's the better place to? I mean, is like, do you go to Santa Fe or Cruces, or where's like
Yeah.
the good spots to play
Yeah,
outside Albuquerque?
We've had a lot of success in Socorro, and we play in Santa Fe a lot, and haven't gotten down to Cruces yet.
Drove through it to get to El Paso, but that's about it,
Yeah,
you know?
that's about it. Still working on Cruces a little
We
bit.
played
harder nut to crack.
whatever
sometimes.
you want to, however you want to pronounce Madrid. We've played,
Yeah?
and that's gone really well. So we try to get around.
Okay, outside of New Mexico, I mean, how far have you been on tour? I'm sure you guys have
we
been out.
we did a week tour in West Hollywood.
Wow.
We actually set up gigs for 7 days, almost 7 days straight
Yep.
in Hollywood, which is pretty. A lot of bands are like, "How the hell did you guys do that?"
We just didn't tell any of the other venues. We were already booked somewhere else.
Yeah, so we just kept going. So we've
'Cause
we've
everyone
gone.
from there always
Yeah.
says, "Oh, you can't play that much in LA," and we were like, "Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Just don't tell them that you're
Ah.
playing."
Yeah,
the other
Seven
times."
so
shows, 7 days.
we went as
Yeah.
far as LA, and then have gone as far east as Austin, Texas,
Okay.
and north Dallas. So
All
yeah,
around.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
that's your
very
little boat. Are you trying to get farther east?
Oh
or-
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
We actually get internet radio play from the station in is it Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. We've done really well on the East Coast. The East Coast likes us a lot. We do real well in New York and all around the Midwest as well. Chicago, Missouri, Cleveland, all these kinds of areas. So
Oh, yeah?
we're working really hard to get out
Yeah,
that way right
because
now.
radio alone isn't enough. We would like to accompany that
Sure.
radio with actual shows.
with actual people.
I mean, so you did some shows in California.
Mm-hmm.
As far as crowds go, I know you're, more play in New Mexico, so you may have an established fan base here.
Yeah.
I mean, how are the shows different? How are the crowds different?
The crowds are really different in other cities because they're a lot less diverse. Here, here when you have a subculture, there's like one punk guy and one goth guy, and they all go to the same shows because there's only like one alternative venue.
Yeah.
Whereas when we played in Dallas, we were on the street of punk venues. And
Right.
you
We
know,
played
like
the Tattoo
every-
District. It was really cool.
It's this really awesome street in downtown Dallas where every shop is either a tattoo parlor, a rock venue, or a coffee shop, and that's it. And we're basically next door to a punk venue. We were in Lagrange, which is a sort of alternative venue, and then across the street that night, the Screeching Weasels were playing a venue called Trees,
Which is like their launch pad,
but a
if you
little
think-
bit
Yeah.
a little bit bigger, huge patio kind of thing. So the crowds there was like,
Just kind of intimate crowds.
yeah, they were like a punk crowd, like as if you were like playing some like video game and their models were stamped out. It was like, they were that subculture. Whereas here, you'll go to a show and you'll look at the state of dress across the board, and you will have like super hipster girl and mohawk guy and guy in a polo and jeans and someone who just got off work, and it's a really super diverse crowd, whereas in other places it seems like I know your market, you know.
It's so big that you just have the one crew.
You just have the one crew. Yeah.
All right. So when you're in Albuquerque, where do you like to play at?
I
mean, now that we know that Albuquerque is just a hodgepodge.
Bert's is always our a home away from home.
Yeah.
It was our first place we cracked in the bar scene here. All the staff knows us. You know, we walk in, we're always greeted great.
Always treat us right.
Yeah,
which is
so
really nice.
that place is pretty dope.
But our favorite venue really is Amped. It's an all ages venue here. They just moved to Central, and it's really the only place you can play to anyone who isn't 21. Like
that'll buy your merchandise.
Yeah, that'll actually
honestly
wants to be there because you're playing music.
It's also like a safe haven for kids that are underage because they really discourage drug use and that sort of stuff. So
where's this at? I'm sorry.
It's on Central on the north side. It's between the Chemo and at the Alibi.
They just moved there, yeah. But they were off of Lomas and Morningside.
Yeah. But it's nice because you get a lot of underage kids because they kind of have stricter rules, so that parents feel more comfortable letting their kids go.
As opposed to going to Launchpad where there is the mix of alcohol there.
Yeah, and again,
it's so hard for the Launchpad to do all ages shows lately because
their capacity is so big.
Well, and the city also just doesn't treat them right. The city thinks that that no matter what, kids are going to be exposed to liquor and things like that, and it's sad because people like Joe Anderson work really hard to make a good music scene, and then politics and everything like that get in the way. So you kind of have to go strictly all ages, and that's why Amped is so cool because they've done that, and then they really care about the music. So all of the kids that come get into this community of like, let's care about music, let's support musicians,
as opposed to alcohol sales.
Right.
All right, so you guys just came out with an album in last year, right?
2010? Yeah.
All right. And then you're already coming out with another album. Is that coming out later this year? Is it coming out next year? What are your plans for this next album?
We're coming out with two, actually.
Okay.
We have not played shows in the last month and a half, which is a really long time for us. We usually play like every Friday, sometimes twice a weekend.
Everywhere.
And we decided that we were going to write 2 albums in 2 months, and we have. We're just polishing up the edges, and we're going to release it as digital only and vinyl only. We're going to just not do the CD thing at all this time around.
Wow.
Just because, people just aren't as into CDs anymore. And
sadly.
I don't think it's that sad. It saves us money, honestly, because I don't think a lot of people realize that in order to produce 1,000 CDs, you're going to spend $1,200 to do that, and unless the artwork is superb and the booklet's at least 8 pages and all that, I mean, you're paying
just find MP3.
You're paying a ton of production costs so that people can put the MP3 on their MP3 player.
Exactly, people just take a CD home, they burn it to their computer, it's on a shelf. So we're figuring that we're going to do a digital copy for people that are just going to do that anyways, and then for people that are actually going to collect it, we'll go ahead and press vinyl.
So are you guys big vinyl users? Do you all have like your own collection?
I have some old school 80s metal like Slayer vinyl, and I have an Immortal picture disc. I don't have a player.
Do you just put them on the wall like
they're sitting like double wrapped, so there's no dust. They're not warped. They're still like in mint condition. I just don't have a player.
I owned at one point. I owned 3,000 records, and I slimmed it down. I own maybe 500
a
now.
Shelf now.
He's still got a case of like 600
I still have a lot.
garage.
But the whole feeling is just that vinyl's like art that you listen to, and that's the cool thing about it, is because you can take it out. We want to do color discs, so it's not going to be just a black record. It'll be like cool see-through colors, things like that. So that makes it cool, and then you can do artwork that. With a CD, it's just so hard to do with a CD because you're going to spend so much money doing it. And otherwise, it's just like, another CD, or here's a CD and a booklet, or whatever, So we were like, well, let's do something that will really make people go, oh yeah, I want to look at it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite album? Do you guys each have a favorite album?
Yes.
Is that too hard to say? That's
no.
a hard question to
I
say.
have one.
If you're bold enough to, I know
album
hair,
as
but let
in
me see your bold enough to pick a CD, an album. Sorry.
There's this band called Samael from Switzerland.
Okay.
They put out a record in '96 called Passage. That's my favorite record of all time.
He's our metalhead.
Yeah.
No, I like to tell people I don't actually like music. No, it's true. I actually
true, yeah.
I actually feel that music is more of a mathematic function than it is an artistic expression. It can be both, but well, it is both.
Okay.
But people talk about originality, and they're always like, and you encounter this with like metal guys all the time. Like, I need the most original music out there, but music hasn't been original since the second drum was skinned, and its basic function is to bring people together. And on a physical level, it actually regulates a whole group of people's heartbeat, gets them on the same wavelength.
Right. Everyone needs to jump at the same time.
Exactly, and so it's more about like community and all that stuff. And so I don't really have a favorite musician of any kind.
I'll break a question down for you where it's A or B, mathematical. You ready? David Bowie or Prince?
David Bowie.
Prince.
What?
Yep.
David Bowie.
All right, good answer.
Okay, but I'll give it to you because Prince is pretty freaking
He's the guitar player.
Yeah, and when you see Prince play the guitar, you're like,
Yeah.
That dude can smoke.
That's true.
that
Yeah.
guy can wail.
All right,
So
one
I
more.
understand.
Uh-huh.
One
That's
more.
cool.
That's harder to tell apart.
What about David Bowie?
Chevelle or Breaking Benjamin?
No answer?
Honestly, no
I was
comment.
gonna say, can the cricket do the talking for me?
Yeah. I'm not personally. I mean, I'm not saying I'm trying to be an old guy, but I've given the newer
the old
stuff a
stuff?
shot.
Okay.
But I'm not really old school. But I don't know. I just haven't really found inspiration in those players. But that being said, though, I'm really into Nevermore and stuff like that. So
Sounds closer to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I was told something. I was told I got to ask you about Digitech and what you guys are doing with it.
Yeah, dude.
I was actually left in the dark about it, just so you can tell me about it.
Okay.
So let it rip.
a couple months ago, I followed Digitech on Twitter,
Yeah.
and they posted something about a classic rock band. And an asshole pet peeve of mine is I don't really like to hear about that stuff anymore. They're not a band anymore. Let new artists in the limelight,
They've
whatever.
been around forever and
Yeah.
lots and lots of press.
Limelight.
Whatever it is. So they reply back, that's very punk rock of you. Does Vertigo Venus use any Digitech products? And I said, it's Vertigo Venus. And yes, I used the whammy pedal on our last record. And almost like 75% of the whole record, I used the whammy pedal.
Right.
And I went into the story how I broke mine. I actually did break it. They're supposed to be indestructible, and I did. And they said, okay, well, we really like these songs. They actually took the time, checked out our website, our YouTube, our Facebook. They checked us out, which is really cool because they're one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we'd like to give you a new pedal. Do this video for this song, Spy vs. Spy. Meet this criteria, and we'll give you one. And the criteria was, it has to be the story like the old comic, even the animated thing that was on Mad TV.
Right.
We have to get 1,000 hits. Didn't say when, so that was to our advantage.
Right.
And
Which was good.
which was good.
Even though we got 1,000.
Has to be funny, no actual dialogue. We did all that. We got 1,000 hits in 4 days,
Yep.
and they were really impressed with that. So they said, okay, you met our criteria. Do you want the old whammy pedal or the new one that's not even out yet?
Yeah.
And I, of course, took the new one. And
Yeah, it's the.
yeah.
Are you gonna take the prizes in the box? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Go
I
behind the mystery.
I got the new one. I played it for these guys, and for us to do more work with Digitech, I have to do a tutorial on the new product. And if
It's really terrible for Chris because he hates that.
I hate talking about my gear. So
can
if
tell,
they
it's
like what we
fun.
do, then they're gonna say, okay, cool. And then I have this list of what we want
Yeah.
to use and showcase how players are using their products nowadays. Like he does electronic stuff on the side. They have loop stations and all sorts of beatboxes that I know he would use, and him being the bass player, he can use that. So on and so on.
Yep.
So that's how we got the Digitech thing going on. And they chose Spy vs. Spy, which is funny because I used that whammy pedal at the very end of the song.
once. So they picked the song.
They
Yeah.
picked the
wanted
song.
you to do a video.
Yeah, they want to do a video. Yeah,
That
so
was the coolest thing. Like, they actually looked at our website
Yeah.
and went to our YouTube page and everything, and they checked out our material, and
Yeah.
they
they
picked.
picked that one.
They
And the
picked
great
a
thing
song.
about this is that we do a little series. We do a lot of different series on our YouTube page. And one of the ones we do is breaking shit and voiding warranties with Vertigo Venus. I don't know if you're gonna have to bleep me there.
Me too, I swore earlier, but yeah.
But we do swear a lot. But breaking shit and voiding warranties with Vertigo Venus, we because we're an independent band, man. We don't have a lot of money, and so we everything that we have has to like work for a long time. So if it breaks, we figure out how to fix it. So then when we figure out how to fix it, we do a YouTube video on it. So the great thing about this is that we won't have to have broken gear. That's nice. But we'll be able to talk about how we can use this stuff and how a musician can use it, not just like, here's how you should use it, so you should buy it. We want
Right.
to tell musicians, like, this is cool and this is why
This is how
should
you
use
utilize it.
Yeah.
And the video we did ourselves with friends of ours here in town.
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
one of the major themes of this band now that we have have Jessica and the four of us at the core. One of the biggest themes of our band is DIY. Like the clothes we're wearing, most of which we've made ourselves.
Yeah.
The gear that we use, like Chris builds his guitars, and the guitars we've made,
the
we
entire
build.
brand you guys are building.
And so when it came to the video, Rip Williams gave us access to a studio for a weekend while he was out of town, which was super awesome because he filmed our previous video
with him.
And he made such a great video before that with us. And so we got two friends of ours, Jason and Dee, who had these awesome cameras to film with us, and a great makeup artist named Candace. And we just got together, and we had like $60 and some Red Bull. And
thankfully, they were able to help us out. I know it's hard for indie bands to do things because of money.
Yeah.
So we're fortunate to have that. I think if bands just put the word out saying, "Hey, we want to do a video," some people may just say, "Cool, I'll do a video so it can go on my resume."
Craigslist.
Well, that's the nice thing that we found is that a lot of times there are going to be people out there who are interested in doing some things that we're interested in that have different skills or different, just different tools. So if you get the word out there, a lot of the time you're going to find people that will be receptive to helping because they're interested in the same thing.
And we talk about that a lot with people, like when we did our first video, which looked,
it looked amazing.
When I went, because I did the editing on it, and I went down and to look at it, I was like, wow, how the fuck did we do this? And it was great because we had all these awesome people who helped us to do it, and they did it for nearly nothing. We paid them in some pizza.
It cost us thousands.
It cost us 8 pizzas to film our first
and
video.
they had all this great gear, and so we were really lucky to have that. And we went out and we put it on the internet, and we were talking to other musicians, and a lot of people said, well, you had access to this and that and that and this. And I said, yeah, but you can too. We didn't own any of it. We know a bunch of cool people who wanted to work with us.
Yeah.
So it's all about actually taking that time to be active in your,
in your scene.
Because another big part about the first music video that we filmed was at Warehouse 508, which is a local art space for teenagers. It's funded by the city, and it's intended to help get kids involved in this type of stuff. And they allowed us to use the space, but the only way that we knew about the space is because we were involved in the community. So it really is it's important for the band itself to be active.
Yeah. To get out of your studios and out of your rehearsal spaces and actually remember the names of the people who work with you.
Absolutely. And you know what? Let's check it out. Let's check out what they did, what all this work went into. Vertigo Venus, they like to swear, and they make Outlandish look good. Let's check out their video.